Yeah, so maybe that's, I guess maybe I was getting a little bit loose right there. Perhaps, no. So, we wait for a few more people to come in before we pick back up that topic. We had a couple more people. I think we had about 25 people. Got my teeth back. Fine. Now I ain't see the question. West Coast wise. The algorithm, yeah, you gotta share it on your page and hit the like button. That's the algorithm. It depends a lot on the people. Or something, yeah, I don't know what you're gonna say, you know what I mean? PC round, smells goods. True foods. Put your helmet on. You know, when you're ready to go in the game and get on the front line, you gotta put your helmet on. You know what I'm saying? When it's time to build, it's time, look, all the planning stages is done. The blueprints is down. It's time to build. Put your helmets on. The last thing you want to know about is put your helmets on, look out below. You know, you don't want to hear look out below after put your helmets on. Absolutely, Mr. 120, they're about to drop some shit. Put your helmets on. About women having a lot of names. I mean, you know, who's going to be the earth? You know, like that's it. You know, some things, and I don't want to nitpick. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to get technical, but this is a European recent paradigm. Like last names is you know, in the course of time and civilization is kind of new. The people had a name, you know, and you know, of their tribe and then of the place where you from. The stuff that you do, who you are, that's what your name is. This is a particular European paradigm that we on, based upon their bloodlines that they was trying to preserve. So the Hohenzollerns and the Medicis and the Habsburgs, these are the people that do that kind of stuff. See, in the Bible, you don't see Joseph and Mary having the same name. He's who he is, she's who she is. You know, so I understand people whole thing, you know, even with that, listen, man. Yeah, y'all deal. I'm perfectly fine with y'all dealing with the name y'all know me. Like, I don't need their approval. Get the white man has to listen. Tell you something. He call me by my name anyway because of who I am and what I do. I'm talking about from back in the time. It was listen. That was something that people was amazed that even in high school, the teachers call me by my righteous name. I'm saying you're talking about people who changed because the people that I know who've done that is people who had their name changed legally. So then, like I said, just going according to that paradigm, you know what I'm saying, the father's last name, they gave their daughter the name. That's the phenomenon that I've known to exist. Now, if you're saying that somebody just just named themselves that, now that's something that would be a whole other thing to take into consideration. But then again, like I said, it would just take me back to the beginning, where it's like, okay, then who's going to be the earth? Like, what's going to be that other factor? You know what I'm saying? It's like if water wanted to be sunlight, then what would be that other factor of life, right? In the way that we know it to cause that plant to grow. Well, you got that too, but why you I'm right now I'm just looking for where I'm gonna go get my certification. Once I get my certification, then about Thursday. Yeah, I would have to ask them why they did that. Like if they did that based upon like the original people is law and all of that, I mean I disagree with that. We had remember we had what was it, Earth Week or something? We went through the degrees in the 140, the first 8 degrees, you know what I'm saying, and how there's there's a somebody just sent me a message, maybe lost my train of thought. But anyway, that's we get back into that if anybody still got questions like that. But divine understanding piece of that. Getting back to where we was in terms of jury nullification. The most popular examples, shockingly, the most popular examples that everybody knows of jury nullification is, as I was saying, uh, the the Dynamite Bob's. What's going on, Joseph? Dynamite Bob's. You know the cat that assassinated Mega Evers. I'm trying to think of specific cases that I recall. It was used all throughout that time. That's why, all of those lynchings and everything, everybody got off. Because the jury was saying, we don't care about this nigga. Like, that's the fuck we do here. We handle niggas that get out of line. So, we're whatever, whatever the charge is, we not for it. You know what I'm saying? Now, how I first heard of jury nullification was in terms of the same nonviolent drug offenders now that everybody's saying shouldn't be in there. That was where we were supposed to use jury nullification in the past. But just saying that these are, that's one of the powers of the people. See, like that's one kind of flaw in their strategy, is that America is a marketing thing. It's marketed a certain way. So that means it's got to look a certain way. So see, if the people get out there and make certain things look a certain way, they have to respond to that because of the marketing. So you can't go around the world and pump that this is the land of Mickey Mouse and Coca-Cola, and everybody locks freedom if we out there in the streets. Even people get out there in the streets, they got to market it a certain way. See, people get out there in the streets, right? They get out there in the streets in a country that America don't like. Oh yeah, this is a revolution going on here. This is the Arab Spring. See, if we on the street here, no, this is protests. We gotta market this as the American system still working. And it's bugged how that works out. Have you ever heard somebody like a person been in jail 30 years for a crime they ain't committed? And then the prosecutor and the judge and the news are going to say, yeah, see, it might took 30 years, but the system worked. Oh, really? You call that the system working? So now's the time. You're gonna see what the power of it. You're gonna see what the power of the people is to do. Slowly but surely, you've been seeing more and more situations. You know what I mean? Like, situations like Katrina. And other things happening where you gotta know how to survive on your own, or you're not gonna survive. See, is for this, it's not like the gang world. It's similar, but I'm just saying the way you're gonna be tested and who's gonna test you and how they gonna test you. It's like it's almost anything, if you go on the court, basketball court, say you're a baller, you're gonna be tested. There's gonna be somebody out there that's gonna see what you made of. You know what I'm saying? If you go out there, you say you gangster, you're gonna be tested by other people that's a problem. So you say you 5%, you say you got a universe, that's gonna be tested. So now we're gonna see. People respond to the fear. See, Chief makes a good point right here too. The power of the people versus the power of the sheep, because you see they're already setting that up with the vaccinated versus the unvaccinated. So they have to build that up over there, right? Because that's a part of their science. They got to throw some shit in the game to make other people fight and kill one another. That's the name of the game. See, before you can respond to what's going on, you gotta know how to recognize it. You gotta know what the name of the game is. See, other people, right? Listen, and it's far away, and I know it's way more complex, right? But that's what happened in Afghanistan. You come out here and drop all your bombs. You see, you can't break down the people. See, even that's when they knew they lost. When the people who was down with them all this time, as soon as the Taliban came back, it was like, yo, what up, cuz? What up, fam? We think, man, we out here get this money, man. Yeah, they about to be out, man. Let's do the thing. So they couldn't break that down. And so they showed the power of the people over the long term. Y'all motherfuckers going home, and we right here. And we still the same motherfucker. It's still Afghanistan. It's just still ran by Taliban, whatever y'all lost. I recall there was a dude, I'm surprised I haven't seen it nowhere on YouTube. There was a dude, they laughed at him. In like the next couple of months after the war, there was a dude that, America was like, yeah, we coming over here. We about to handle business, huh? We about to get busy. And it was a dude, he was like the spokesman or something, and he was like, yeah, we know y'all gonna come over here. And y'all gonna leave with y'all asses kicked. He didn't use those exact words, but that was what he told them. The dude from Vietnam told him that too. When they had the meeting before everything set off, the dude said, listen, we already know y'all about to blow up the whole country. For every one of y'all that we kill, y'all kill like 5 or 10 of us. And then you're going to leave with your asses kicked. See, that's what happened in all the different movements. All the different times that brothers fought for different freedoms and different rights. What? You don't hear Martin Luther King telling people, we're gonna make it to the mountain. I might don't make it, but we're gonna make it. They knew that was gonna happen. Yeah, some of us are gonna get smoked. The people, I didn't know that until recently, that they picked particular people to go on the front lines of those protests because they knew the police was going to kick their ass. And so they brought certain people that they knew was of a temperament that they would just be, nonviolent, continue with the nonviolent protests. They didn't bring dudes that they knew, like, listen, ain't nobody hitting me without. But now you will see if people got that same, determined idea to be free. See, because I'm at a state where, listen, this is not the type of thing we experiment with. I told you, I experiment with high schools. I know what they do. I'm not experimenting, putting this with whatever this thing is. But we'll see. You see, if they can get people to go for this, the ship be sinking and the sky's the limit. That's when you better put your helmets on and look out below. Exactly. The law was another individual. Yeah, you knew what time it was. Malcolm knew what time it was. He ain't even done. Cool it, brothers. Brothers knew what time it was. See, that's one of the things that happen now is that, we don't have that same, we got cats like Brother Polite, Umar Johnson. Shout out to Polite and Umar Johnson. But it's clearly they're not ready to take nothing for the people except a couple dollars. King Me, why zigzag zig? So yeah, now's the time, man. Put your helmets on, man. Well, look, look. You might not have to put your helmet on, right? Do you have a plan for all this stuff? What's happening? Do you have a plan? Like, what happens if all the shit they saying don't work? If we fall checked all this, recovery, whatever. What if the shit don't work? We really that's plan A, B, C, D, E, F all the way to Z. That the color man is gonna get this back together, and then we all gonna prosper, manifest destiny. See, because remember, manifest destiny don't just stop at conquering the whole country, but this whole American exceptionalism way of life and all this here American dream, all that's a part of the manifestation. So you just sitting around waiting for them to get their act together so that we can get back apart. We can get this plantation back going, massa. Them Yankees hates our way of life, massa. Massa, you's gonna get it together, massa. Is that what we're waiting? Or is it a time when, you know, whoever's the individual, we see the light? Because see, just that fast, right? Remember I said, look, man, you know, we got to have our own politics stuff. Look, just that fast, Black Lives Mattering is down at the bottom. See, just that fast, it went from defund the police to all the police departments are getting raises, they're getting more money in their budgets. And what you hear about in the news? Afghanistan, vaccine, border crisis, homeless people. What happened to what happened to the reparations? I mean, I'm not saying all the other issues are not important. But see, without no plan, then a law world manifest, right, is just a saying. Just you know, it's like slang or something. Let's see. I don't know what y'all thinking about that? These new occurrences. Oh, it's a crazy story. Oh, this being a Hotep channel. This being a Hotep channel. Yes, we'll use these scientific terms that's used here in the article. This is an article that I'll read this excerpt right here. And it says 2 researchers have collected more than 140,000 reports from people who say they've noticed a change in their periods after vaccination. Lee and Clancy are formally documenting those cases in an open-ended study. Clancy's interest was first piqued by her own experience. My period after dose 1 was one of the heaviest I remember having ever in my life, she said. And this is on npr.org. Shout out to Sarah, who sent me this link right here. Hold on, I'm about to put it in the chat over here. Yeah. In npr.org, you know, that's not exactly Fox News. You know what I mean? In terms of, you know, like just off the top of my head without having seen what their official stance is, I would think that their official stance would be pro-vaccine. We got Divine Truth and Knowledge Born came in. So if anybody do y'all see the link right there? Sure y'all, everybody wants a little opportunity to check that out. Truthful would say, can I say the lessons navigate us through the foolishness? No. You're the power. The lesson is an exercise for you to develop your power. Through your use of mathematics, you navigate yourself righteously through the foolishness. See, because you can navigate yourself through the foolishness with negativity too. But we use the order of mathematics to navigate it righteously. You know what I'm saying? Definitely the lessons, right? And listen carefully what I'm saying. The lessons that we draw up from the lessons, right? Got Arabi in the building. The lessons, meaning the degrees, right? We study them, and from them we draw up ideas, concepts, and ways of looking at things, right? That then we could, when we see what was the solutions in those situations that occurred in the lessons, then we could apply that to the different situations that we're getting in at different times, at different places. But did anybody did you see this article right here, Robbie? The last link that I put right there is a link to these two researchers that are saying they collected 140,000 reports of women that said their menstruation became it was different than normal. I don't know what the word is. You know what I'm saying? So all these types of things, man, that's what I'm saying. I told my seeds, don't be reproducing with no people that had the vaccine. That's gonna be some other shit. Like, that's what I'm saying, how that work? Like, is that gonna be another polymorphism? Like, they'll know that you had the vaccines, huh? Because your DNA is a little bit different after that RNA fuck with. I'm not saying that's the science, but they're not saying that's not the science. I'm saying it's a valid question. Especially when you look at the fact, right, that it is reality. It is reality, right? In this science of DNA, right? What do they call them? Poly something morphisms. What's the word for it? Mr. Spock is in the room. What's the word for it, Mr. Spock? There's nothing wrong with seeds having an arms on the forehead. If you're from Mars or Alpha Centauri or whatever, that's a evolutionary advantage, shall we say. But what they call it, the polymorphism, you know what I'm talking about. L7. Now, in this science of DNA, they call them the poly whatever morphisms, right? Somebody come up with a name in it. But at the end of the day, these things are mutations. like 99.999% of mutations are fatal. And you say, arms growing out your head, all these types of stuff like that. You understand what I'm saying? So if you're giving me something, right, that you can't be sure of what kind of mutations this is going to cause, short term or long term, why would I be taking it? So the wise guy said the vaccine is good. However, pregnant women get advised not to take it. That's what I'm saying. See, fortunately for me, I got a minimal degree of education in some of these things where I'm not just looking at the news or you telling me to report. Now I know a little bit about this. So we'll have to see. I wonder who's studying that. Where's that study? See, they probably ain't gonna do that because see, then you open yourself up to lawsuits. Where's the study of the babies that's been born to mothers that they had this thing? Don't we need to see that? Is there anybody in the room that's taking the vaccine? Random jewelers, any random jewelers taking the vaccine. So our chief said now they're encouraging pregnant women to get it. They would want to. I did see a headline. I didn't get a chance to read it, but they were saying that, they was saying that this is like this kind of, I guess, vulnerable. How would I put it? If it bleeds, it leads. You know what I'm saying? It's the type of situation where if you want people to get the vaccine, then you're going to tell all of these kind of tragic stories of people that get the vaccine. And so that was the headline of the article was pregnant, unvaccinated, intubated. Intubated, that means the thing down your throat so you can breathe. You report. See these people, they listen. I want these people at the family reunion. See, y'all start reproducing with these people that had the vaccine. And then see when I get old, and then you bring your children around me. But it's like V. Y'all remember V? Not down. Right, that's what I'm saying, Mr. Spock. Mr. Spock is saying, I heard that pregnant women can take it and that it hasn't shown any different side effects, but the birth cycle was 9 months and the vaccine has only been available for 9 months. So, it would be difficult to assess that. Say your physical ticket and get very compromised being on dialysis was the choice. Doesn't sound like America. I mean, like I said, if you got other conditions, and that's something I tell people, even in terms of you dealing with diet. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're dealing with diet, you can't eat pig feet, you know what I'm saying, for 40 years and then, be like, yo, all I eat is motherfucking spinach and that shit. Nah, man, this motherfucking spinach and basmati rice. That ain't gonna help. You understand what I'm saying? Like you didn't do certain things now, you gotta go away. All right, black observation, that should be there tomorrow. Things strange happening. So Joseph said he's been vaccinated. So what is the have you noticed anything since the vaccine? What was your big? He said Chimera was Chimera. What? No, Chimera, that's what people are gonna become. A Chimera is like a kind of mythical creature. Like when you see those creatures, like they got like a lion head and bird wings and like eagle feet. Those are chimeras. Animals, some kind of put together like that, mixed match characteristics. I said the pregnant woman who take it right now will be in the study. No, Devon. We are all in the study. See, even those of us that didn't take the vaccine, right? We're in the control group. Whenever they do these type of things, right? There's got to be some people that don't take it, so then they can see, okay, what was the outcomes of the people who took it, and what was the outcomes of the people who didn't take it. Notice that number is not coming out. So because remember, when they put the vaccine out, the numbers was already going down. So you can't say the vaccine conquered it. But just at the end of the day, supposedly they claiming that now if you get it though, right? If you get it, you less likely to get hospitalized and die. You know what I mean? But I'm saying, what is still? Let's see how these numbers right now come out. UK said I had to get vaccinated for work. Yeah, I'm just listening. You see, that's what I'm saying. See, when there's a unit of people that they know they can't do this stuff to. You say here, black observation was gone for pound months. The devil trying to test me to see if I'm true and living. I'm really going to build and destroy where I have to show and prove the negative forces outweighing the positive. Well, yeah, Luke Cage, because now, and that's what I'm saying. Now they're saying the booster shot is every 8 months, right? Uh, so Joe Self said he took the Pfizer vaccine. So the Pfizer vaccine is which one is not RNA? I know one of them is not RNA. One of them is supposed to be the deactivated germ itself. You know, the more traditional vaccine. The Johnson and Johnson is the one that's not RNA, right? But yeah, that's another thing what I was saying, right? So now they're saying you're supposed to get the booster every 8 months. Now look, this is where it gets tricky to me. This is where, listen, this is the slippery slope part to me, right? Especially when it comes to the RNA, you know. So every 8 months, you're going to give my DNA a new set of instructions because in order for these vaccines, if I'm getting these boosters, in order for them to be truly effective, you got to adjust it a little bit to all these variants. So you're going to give me a slightly adjusted set of instructions for my DNA every 8 months. I'm saying your marketing to me right now, you're saying that that is not going to have any long term. That's nothing's going to happen. Yeah, it's 8 months after your second dose. It's going to be every 8 months. And what are they saying that? You know, because if the two didn't do the job, how is three going to do the job? That's why I say it's a slippery slope. It's a slippery slope. Because from the very beginning, they were saying that that one of the outcomes, right? Like they were saying a lot of what happens with a lot of diseases is that and DeBar probably because DeBar work in the medical field, but what happens is you will have a disease that'll come out and be an epidemic, right? And then the people will gain a kind of natural immunity to it. And that what will happen is the disease will become a early childhood illness. Like it'll be something that kids get one time, and then after they get it, they immune to it. Something like the chicken pox, where for the most part, people get it when they little kids, and then that's it. So meaning that what they were saying is that it's never going away. Like it's not like something where it's like, get an infestation of ants or something, and then you get to exterminate and get rid of it. Well, I said the Moderna shot has shellfish in it. Therefore, since I'm allergic to shellfish, therefore I'm exempt from all vaccine second to allergies. Right, or the herd immunity. You know what I'm saying? My guy said doctors in the health industry are blocked from going public with statistics. They said women stay immune longer than men and also are less likely to get hospitalized or die from COVID. I mean, so it does. So when I was shot with so many vaccines, I don't even recall what I had. I've heard they're having a big issue though right now in the military. I can't recall. Let me see if I can look that up real quick. So this says 70% of active duty troops, 70% receive one shot, and 62% is fully vaccinated. So that's what I'm saying. They can't get rid of 30% of the military. Or in New York City where they got they said 47% of cops is vaccinated. Yeah, you're not getting rid of 53% of the NYPD. You already got all these companies talking about it's a labor shortage. So I'm sure most of them is not going to be willing to, get rid of good employees, who know the job, doing well. That's going to be rough. The Lord said, if you don't know how to tell them you ain't taking it, they'll try to make you take it. The Lord said, doctors explain they don't even know what's in the vaccine. They're just following orders. Many of their patients are developing various side effects. Joe Dawn said, that's crazy. When I was in the Marines, vaccines were not an option. You would consider government property back then. I mean, I'm sure you still are now. I don't think that part changed. But it's definitely a different military now. You know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty sure that the military you was in, in fact, look, let's, we already got cut off. Let's stay politically correct. But this is not the same. It's not your grandfather's military, right? That's pretty, man. Leak low. But yeah, now's the time. This is, getting back to a more serious note, back to what I was saying is that now, the science of being a nation, right, becomes important. You know what I'm saying? Uh, kind of the not to say in a militant form to be resistant, you know what I mean, but to have a recognized way of life, you know what I'm saying, a way of life that's recognized for being righteous, uh, and have, like I said, that extended family. You know what I'm saying? You know, once you extend the family and then you get to the society and the, you know, culture, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, that's what, you know, that's why I put this title today, put your helmets on. You know what I'm saying? Uh, you know, we definitely gotta be ready, you know. As well as also another thing I was saying that have you noticed, like how long did it take? 8 months, Black Lives Matter is no longer on the news. George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, et cetera, et cetera. Police forces are getting increases in their budgets. And so last year, you know, this time, you watch the news, it was blackity black, 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 blackity black, black, blackity black. Now I'm down to blackity black. Now, Afghanistan, water crisis, vaccine mandates, Gavin Newsom recall, Andrew Cuomo scandals. See, because nobody didn't really have no plan to. You still see some black people walking around talking about reparations. You know, you go on the right YouTube page or Facebook or something. But that's just another example of, like I said, the difference between a law world manifest being an actual thing and a law world manifest being just a slogan that we use. You know, just a degree that, you know, we read this degree, you know, yo, God, you know that degree, God? Yeah, God, I got that degree, God. It's peace, God. You true and living. See, we need to have a whole episode like that. So I can show people what I think of their mutual masturbation societies. You know, we sit around and talk like, yo, God, do you remember, God, how we did it in the 80s, God? Yes, God, I recall. It's true. Yeah, God. I used to come down to the school. I used to be there with Prince and Colleen and yes, God. Do you remember when Najee used to be there? Yes, because we're true. See, I don't want to talk with niggas like that. That's how you talk like that. Go on F channel. With all these things, you understand what I'm saying? Like I said, you know, I'll be you just coming in. So, you know what I mean? But getting back, we did get sidetracked a little bit. Is that now we're in a situation, right, where it's the breakdown of the extended family that's affecting us. So generally speaking, the things that we be saying, right? You know, when we talk about the breakdown of the family, is mostly the effects of the breakdown of the nuclear family. But the breakdown of the extended family, right, also had a tremendous impact. You know, the extended is great-grandparents and grandparents and uncles and aunts and cousins and nephews and nieces and, you know, in-laws, etc., you know. If you come in this town, most of us is related. Because said I just came back from the doctor 2 hours ago, and he definitely pulling on my heartstrings about the vaccine. He couldn't answer one question asked. So the question is, are you ready to go underground? If not, then what happened? I mean, you know, see, at times like this, right? And then, see, this is because, and some of it was a misunderstanding, right? But see, I took the Law of World Manifest so seriously, right? That I don't have as many connections with them as other people. So I don't really got to go underground. I just know that, eventually there'll be a line where they're gonna say, look, this is the line right here. Everybody on this side of the line is vaccinated. If you're not vaccinated, you ain't come on this side of the line. I'm prepared to do without whatever's on that side of the line that they're preserving for the vaccinated, then I just want. Like, it's already certain things that I've made my decision with. It's like, damn, son, that's fucked up. Like, that really fucks me up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking about in terms of things that I got to do. Like, damn, I gotta come up with a whole new avenue to do that. But, but you're right about that. It is. It's going to be, then what happened? Because I already told you, in my opinion, with just the nature of the RNA and what it does, I'm not prepared for you to be, I'm not prepared to take that chance. Yeah, now here's the thing, Joseph. Today, they just approved it though. Today, which one was it? The Pfizer? The Pfizer got the official FDA approval. Today been 5 years. You know what I'm saying? It hasn't been 5 years. And listen, let's not act. Never been in the house. You've never been in the house. Tell me this. Type 1 in your chat box. If you've ever been in the house, right? And the commercial comes on with say, yo, did you take this drug between this year and this year right here? If so, call this number right here so you could join the class action suit for the people who is dead or terminally ill now for taking this. Have you ever seen that? I'm saying if it's just me, sometimes I'll be like,
forget erectile dysfunction, vomiting, diarrhea, headaches.
Yeah, after nothing. I always hate that. When they tell you that a medicine, right, can cause erectile dysfunction, right? I always be thinking like, man, do you really want to live like that? Like, what about your quality of life? What's it like?
Eating all you all the time.
What about your I'm not sure. I mean, I might want to just go ahead and take one for the team, man. Not necessarily. Yeah. They say, yeah, sometimes the side effects, you be like, shit, I'd rather just have the first shit. You know what I mean? If you saying for this hangnail right here, I'm gonna have it wrecked out. You're like, nah, I think side, man. You know, yeah. Like they had some kind of medication one time, they had the commercial, right? And the medication was for depression. And one of the side effects is depression. You might become, suicidal.
Yeah, like, I want to say, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Listen, if I'm already depressed, why would I take shit that might make me kill myself?
It's just 1 out of 20 people, though. It's 1 out of 20.
Yeah, but if you that one person, it's hard to say. It's one person. If you that one motherfucker, it don't make a goddamn difference.
Mind you, God, those people don't even play dice. They not even take the gambling motherfuckers at all, but they'll pay their life on this.
Man, listen. Yeah, matter of fact, that's probably, I don't know. Maybe the thing, you might be right there. You know, we might have to, I may have to listen. If y'all need me to do that, if as a nation, y'all saying we gonna make that decision, then look, I apologize to Born Mastermind, and then we can all start taking his diet. Listen, man, he said we got the key, man. Maybe that's the problem. That other Alpha Centauri son is getting close. And because people haven't eaten his diet, they're perishing. This is why I said, do you think they're going to flip vaccines? Are they going to sell them to other countries for double or triple what they paying from their connect? I think the loot is already greasy, son. Like, I don't think, I think they're in the sweet spot, son. You know what I mean? Like, this is, now we're dealing with a level of intensity also, Mr. Spots, because, being that I now know that, Fauci paid them to invent all this stuff, right? And I don't know, see sky's the limit. So now, if the urgency goes, you know what I'm saying? Like with this right here, you got like 0.5% of the people, passing away from it, right? But, say you get to something where it's like, 50% of the people or so, then yeah, I could very easily see that. Elijah was talking about living 1,000 years, and he was talking about Born Mastermind. Yeah, I guess so. He should have told us Born Mastermind was coming. Maybe we would have been, he didn't even see he because y'all know, if it was me, if he would have came through speaking Elijah's teachings, yeah, we could have rocked. You would have shit you something Elijah didn't teach that. Hey, listen, we could have got along perfectly if he was teaching what Elijah was teaching. Oh yeah, remember, I got the Mac computer right here. So just bring it on like a zip drive.
Zip the roll, what's up?
I mean, yeah, not a zip drive. What you call it? The
I was late for a minute. Like,
the
what?
little USB things.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got. I go back with this digital shit.
Shit.
I've been fucking around since the Macintosh.
ADAX.
For ADAX. So said, let me buy some stock in Pfizer. West Coast Wise said, Pfizer stock suck. Probably not after today. I'm pretty sure they got a nice hit today. I bet you, look, whatever it is, it's up about 30% today. Yeah, you got a point there. I wonder why he don't have a vaccine. I'm surprised. Oh, I know what it is. They put the penalty on that early when you go to jail. Now that you mentioned it, I'm surprised you didn't get a lot more charlatans saying that they have the cure. Malik Lowe said it went up 4% in the early hours. The guy IB said it's no actual African vaccine. I wouldn't say it's a vaccine, but I did see some African people, a couple of them. But I recall specifically it was this one dude because he did it in the kitchen of his house. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, yo, he got the COVID and shit. And his pops came and something they did where they just made him crazy hot. Like his temperature raised up, you know what I'm saying? And like a couple of days, he shook it off. And he was saying that, we, you know what I'm saying, this is how we beat malaria. Like we you know what I'm saying, we beat viruses like this all the time. That you just gotta raise your body temperature to where the viruses can't live. He's not being had Pfizer stocks since Viagra. What happened to the female Viagra? Didn't they have female Viagra one time? The boss said he had malaria multiple times. For me, some of that is being in America, I always heard of malaria being, a particularly deadly disease. You know what I'm saying? Like, you hear malaria, people dying, making the Panama Canal, et cetera, et cetera. So I always looked at malaria as like a death sentence. You know what I'm saying? But there is actually ways to deal with these things. I guess it's not marketable. Can't sell it. The Wonder Years, I did watch it. I originally started watching it because it just was on. Like I recorded Wonder Years, and the reason I first started watching it was because it came on right after the Super Bowl. And just, they had this whole, marketing, so I just wanted to see what it was about. And then I like the dynamic between the main character and Winnie Cooper. So that's why that was the part I really recall. We got Encyclopedia Brown. I've been watching I've been watching Encyclopedia Brown for like the last week and a half. Man, I watched Encyclopedia Brown in this premiere. He actually had some good points. The brother was speaking on the DNA, saying that the people that existed in the Levant, or what they call the Middle East right now, had a particular biological marker, haplogroup or whatever, in that, according to the research, that this haplogroup, the descendants of this haplogroup are the haplogroups that I guess we belong to. I'm not sure what's the proper term, but they're the haplogroups that we have as Black men in America. You know what I'm saying? And so his thing that he was that because of that, he was drawing the conclusion that in fact we are Hebrews. You know what I'm saying? Now, in terms of the haplogroups and all that, I can get with that. But where he was, or where I thought the debate could have got more focused, right, was that it really wasn't dates on it. So that it's like, put like this. Just from you saying that haplogroup, right, is the ancestor of haplogroups that's in Africa, I can see all the Abrahamic religions claiming that as something that shows and proves what they say. See what I mean? Meaning, I could see Black Christians saying, yeah, see, Christianity is really our true religion. Because we really descended from that area where Jesus lived. You know what I'm saying? I could definitely see the Nation of Islam saying, well, this shows and proves that the original Arabs was Black. And so this is our true religion. You know what I mean? This shows and proves Granddaddy Shabazz. So him particularly making the link and saying that this proves that we're Hebrews, it was like, when you in there with Encyclopedia Brown, they go in. So you can mortgage rolling, I just do knowledge. But I thought he had an interesting point, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, those couple of facts right there that you said, and then once you average that in with the fact that, when they measure in these DNAs, right, to say where you descended from, they're only counting 2 ancestors per generation. So the further back you go, just mathematically, the less accurate it is. So this is, they made it, that's the new thing. They doing a good job with Black people right now. That's something I actually noticed the other day. Well, not that I just noticed it, but I've been seeing it. What is this, Patani versus Adnani? Jack Quinn, God said, give it 10 years. It's going to be class action TV commercial. We actually was talking about that a minute ago. But either way, though, like I said, at this point in time right now, for the new people that's coming in, right? One of the things I'm pointing out with this live is that this is the time when we're gonna miss the extended family. You know what I mean? We, even as the nation, we focus on man, woman, child, and nuclear family. You know what I'm saying? But remember, all of that is there's planning to that. You know what I'm saying? Meaning, as the government, everything that they do, from how they do property rights to how they charge taxes, all these different things, they can foster certain kinds of lifestyles. So when America was an agrarian society, they fostered the extended family because you need a lot of people to do a lot of work. You know what I'm saying? Then when you had the Industrial Revolution, you need these people to work in a one station right here. You still want them to have a certain amount of responsibility or whatever to keep them, coming to the factory. But you don't want them around all of their people. You don't want them when they have a strike, right? You don't want all these people that know each other showing up. You want all of them to feel alone so you could manipulate them. So in that time, they did things that fostered the nuclear family. You know what I'm saying? Building the suburbs and all that. That was, specifically a thing where we're going to develop the nuclear family. Just the God I be says South first, North. We see now that we live in an information age, right? Right? And one person, you could get one person at the computer and he can press the enter and do the work of thousands of people. So they doing things to foster the breakdown in the family, the single life, the individual, the boss, the dream chaser. You understand what I'm saying? You see, when you have an extended family, right, of people with, first of all, y'all support each other, y'all take care of each other. So now it doesn't matter if he tells you, oh, you can't come over here because you don't have the vaccine. When you have the extended family where, if right now, if they come in, right, if they come in and knock on one apartment door, right, and drag somebody out and go force them to take a vaccine, most people want to stay in their house. And they might press mute on the TV just to hear it. So they can get it blow by blow tomorrow. You understand what I'm saying? But they ain't about to come out and do nothing. See, an extended family, that's not going to happen. See, all these different mandates that they putting out there, they can do that because they know that everything is broken down. And it's become, a part of our culture. You know what I'm saying? To where I'm saying, like, you see it in things, one of the places that I see it, for instance, with me, man, listen, I don't even take Tylenol. I don't take, listen.
Who that?
Huh?
Who is that?
That's Encyclopedia Brown.
Nobody on the joint even popping you, right? Nobody.
No, we got two brothers said they took the vaccine. Yeah, I'm saying?
Good luck to them.
Yeah, I don't even take no kind of, you might catch me taking a vitamin. You had 3 different job offers today as long as I'm willing to take the job. Yeah, that's what it is. But you know what I've said though, Encyclopedia Brown, right? Is that, this is a test, right, of the people seeing what their power is. This is really the power of the establishment versus the power of the people. See, that's the advantage to the new people that came to the room, right? One advantage that we have in this situation against them, right, is that America is marketed. It's marketed. Mickey Mouse, Coca-Cola, Britney Spears, the Biebs. And see, because of that, it matters how shit looks. And that's why they had to respond last year. So that's another reason they had to respond to the civil rights era. Because see, you marketing, you out there telling the world that this is the land of the free and the home of opportunity and all this stuff, and you got these people living like that. That's actually a part of the history of Washington, D.C. Is that D.C. people that was still living in like alleys with no plumbing, no electricity, et cetera, et cetera. But that once after World War II, and all the diplomats from around the world was coming to Washington, D.C., this shit became like a scandal, like that. This is the America y'all been talking about. We get here.
Those sites were cracking.
No, this is back in the 50s and 60s.
No, I didn't know about that. You just mentioned that. I'm like, so that's the same shit.
Well, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Exactly. Where this looks a certain way.
I didn't know that.
See, so that's why when people go out there, right, and they get in the street and they, let their voice be heard in certain ways, and they express the power of the people, things could be done. See, when they see that you have X amount of people that you in unity with, you know what I mean? Whether it's a lobbying organization, whether it's the NRA, whether it's Al Sharpton and his youth, once they know that you got a certain amount of people, there's power in that. Because we the power. See, once you got all the people with arm, leg, on, supreme head, right? And they supreme head because they put their head together to come up with the action they're going to do, they have to respond. That's the history of us. There's a lot of people walking around their heart. You see, there's certain people, Allah, Kenyatta, other people that they saw you had people. Then they came to holler at you, what you need. Other people, I don't know their whole history of what they took. But we here, right now, and what we got. The G bill. So they already told, well, yeah, you in the gyms. The gyms, that was the first target. It's the restaurants, the theaters, and the gyms. See, that's what I'm saying. That this is the time when, This is what I'm saying. We gotta use our creative minds, man. Because look, I'm in the same position. That's what I was saying. It's things that, I'm talking about. Yeah, I don't know. I'm some real Illuminati shit right there. They just cut me off. Yeah, I don't know. That's see, we had to cut this short. Because this is the second time. This is the second time when this live.
It was the same subject we're speaking on?
Yeah. This is the second time on this live, man. They cut me like that. But what I was I can't remember, I don't know where y'all got cut off, but what I was talking about, an example of something I seen with the power of people, right? There was a dude in like Nevada or someplace. This is about 10 years ago. He got into some beef with the Environmental Protection Agency. And it was something like he had a stream on his property, right? And so he's using the stream to water his crops or whatever. And so the Environmental Protection Agency is like, but by you doing that, you're risking the life of the silver belly Oregonian toad or something with whatever how they do. So eventually it got to the point where they was beefing with the dude. They was like, look, we coming out there to seize your property. So, the good old boy, he gets his shotgun, goes out to the front fence. It's like, yeah, I dare you to come over here. And with over the next couple of days, other people started showing up from all over the country. They all had their rifles. You know what I'm saying? And eventually, from enough of them being there, right, through the power of the people, they said, you know what? We don't even want that smoke. I've seen us do it before too. And that was about, what's that? That was 1994. Yeah, I was like 1994. They put the school on the auction block. They sent the letter, whatever, however the message got to us. We're going to be auctioning the school. You know, this is the dates right here, whatever. We doing everything in court. You know what I'm saying? Done deal. We showed up. We went down to the city hall. You know, that was one of the deepest I ever seen in 5%. Rallies, show proves and proof. Like we filled up the whole area now. You see, we was unannounced. It wasn't all, you know, all of a sudden it just came out like, you know, that was all the kids doing.
Pre-internet.
Pre-internet. No Twitter flash mob. You know what I'm saying? Yo, God, we gotta go down here, man, see what's good. So we go down there, and we the only ones in the court, except for this one other dude. And he's there because of some other property that he's affiliated with that they wanted to auction. So when it was his turn, he went up there and spoke, right? You know, and said all the reasons why they should take his property. And then he pointed at us and he said, and I know them too, and leave them in their property alone too. Words once, what he said, right? So now time passing, and they trying to wait us out, God. They don't know, they trying to wait us out. Time is passing, time's passing. You know, if you go to, you know, in New York, at 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock, I think at 1 o'clock, they close the court for lunch, they come back at 2 o'clock. So they just waiting us out. We there from 9 in the morning. Waiting. So right before 1 o'clock, they let somebody speak. They call us, they said, all right, look, somebody from y'all want to speak? They didn't know who they was fucking with, God. You know what happened? No, we sent Dumar YD at him.
He's still saying that.
we sent Dumar YD at him, God. So now listen, they try and bluff it off. So they like, all right, look, this is the deal. You know, Dumar hit him, he lit him up. No, matter of fact, because before he told, they was like, look, you know, we let one person speak right now, right? Then we're going to do a list. And then everybody can speak, but you're going to have a certain amount of time, right? So that's what it was. Like a lot of us, we gave Dumar, a lot of brothers gave Dumar their time so that he went up there and spoke. So then the rest of our names on the list, right? When we got back in the court at 2 o'clock, the people said, listen, we taking it off the list. Like, you ain't got to speak, we taking it off the list. I'm dead ass, Doc.
I wasn't there. I got them now.
Through the power of the people, son, that we showed up in force with our civilization. And like I said, when it was time to speak, you want to talk, motherfucker? we got somebody for your motherfucking ass. But to do more for this and something. Kills a rap. We still here right now. What exactly? That's the $1 million question. Then what happened? Then what we did? What did we do? So that's what I'm saying. Those are 2 examples. I got more. Times when I seen, the power of the people when they come together. You see, as long as they know that all these people is here is really separate, and that we can come in here and do whatever we want to whatever individual we want, and the rest of y'all ain't gonna do nothing. Y'all ain't even gonna say boo. That's how this has to be defeated. There's Jerome Bachelor. Them attempting to auction the schools and test. Yeah, testing, nothing but tests, man. Like I said, look, they tested me before I got out the house. When I first came in the house saying I was 5%, they made pig every day. Like I look, this is when I knew, like, it was like they ate pig. They ate pig. So it wasn't out of the ordinary to eat pig, but I started coming to the house, it's like rice and shit. Like when that was the thing on the table, or you want to eat pig, oh yeah, when you get hungry enough, you eat it. So I had to break them down. I had to show them that, see, you want 6. I'm about to step the game up. And if you want to be here, you better leave me alone with all that you trying to keep me on the level 6 with. It just goes to show you the mentality that they've given us. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about all the people. Because see, remember, even from the time, remember when it was the protests, right? And it was all the human fans that was saying, see, all the people was out there. That's how it's supposed to be. She had to respond to that because it's all the people. And see, listen, that's the history of it. See, I don't go to the history to rehash it. I go to it to show the lessons, right, of where this stuff came from. You know what I mean? And sometimes that'll show you why it's where it's at right now. One of the reasons that slavery became solidified, right? One of the reasons that white supremacy manifested itself the way it did in America, right, is that in the indentured servant days, the white indentured servants and the black indentured servants was rebelling together. they wasn't seeing each other as black and white. They were seeing them as slaves and those motherfuckers as slave masters. And so to destroy that alliance, they created those two classes and separated them by, X amount of rights, but not putting either one of them really on their level. So that's why, we teach all the human families. Now, I really got to get down with the UNOP. I'm sure they have already spoken at the UN about their exemptions. The sound is back off? I'm not sure. They cut the sound back on. UNOP, I'm sure it'll definitely be time to go. Yeah, you'll catch up in a minute. I don't know what happened to the sound. Illuminati, apparently I'm stepping on some toes today. We almost time to wind down. Time to wind down. Everybody make sure you did the each one teach one, hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, hit the notification button so you can know when we go live. But if you haven't already thought about it, you need to start thinking about what a law world manifest really means. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it in a standpoint of, we should be this and we shouldn't be that. I'm just saying from, looking at from right now, right, going forward. What does the law world manifest mean to you? We have to look at that part of reality in terms of what have we really manifested. You know what I'm saying? And who we really are. I mean, like this, if the white man tell you your child can't go to school, your child just ain't gonna be educated. All the different things that they can say, you know what, that little nothing right there, let me hold that, let me get that back. Now what? See, right now, to a certain degree, you know what I'm saying? And, we all in the boat. I'm not saying point no fingers. But to a certain degree, and look, I said this during the lockdown too, to a certain degree, we're seeing the level to which we like the devil because the devil gives us nothing. Or at least liking the devil. Like we've been liking him so much that we're overlooking all the shit you do. We're overlooking all the things about our situation that we need to do something about because we cool with this nothing what you're giving us. Like these things have to be, you gotta look at it, that, all right, look, we all live and learn. So, everybody in the world is about to God be so they will call social security, social services and start to get the gut case and then take a seat. Now listen, when it gets to that level, that look, I'm on record. That once you see that hotline number, when you see that hotline number where you report the people who didn't take the vaccine, that's when, listen, you need your helmet, your shoulder pads, your knee pads, your parachute, your spacesuit, your deep diving submersible. And a lot of it is based on your view of the world. You know what I'm saying? That, yeah, I do, in terms of, this society, I do have a more cynical mindset than a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? To where, a lot of people feel like, everything in the country and the Constitution and, Christianity is all working towards the betterment of all people and equality and the inalienability of rights. Whereas I'm more of the mindset that they're just looking for, more finesse. They're looking to use more finesse in their enslavement of people. But slave, in 1800, it's not a lot of finesse. Nigga, I said, bail that cotton. Get the whip. It's talking. We ain't I've already spoken. There's no finesse in that. Now they do it by finesse. They make you think you balling. Are you just running a circle? Which religious or disabled people have declined the vaccine? Well, in New York, they actually eliminated religious exemptions 2 years ago because of an outbreak that happened in the Jewish community. But I don't know if there's any, national group. I'm sure you got people like I doubt like the Scientologists taking it. It's definitely some of those fundamentalist religions. You know what I'm saying? That they don't take blood transfusions like that. God, I be said in the Matrix. They said they created Neo to pacify the Matrix. So, like I was saying, in terms of them using more finesse in their enslavement of people, you know what I'm saying? Meaning that, they try and get you back to square one. That's what they work with. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we live in a capitalist society where money is the motive for a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? And having slave labor is worth a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? And see, I understand slave labor a little bit differently than other people. See, I understand it as an economic strategy and not just a social. Most people look at slavery as this social format. That you got these slave people in society and these slave owning people in society and the way these people interact and the way the owners treat the owned. So you gotta look at it. You ever heard those people say that they studied everything, they looked at all the numbers, and the Europeans didn't even make money off slavery? You ever heard that? See, when you look at it specifically like that and realize that the slaves was never 100% free. They always had to be fed. They always had to be clothed. They always had to be housed. They always had to be cared for when they were sick. Now, of course, these, they're not eating caviar, living in mansions. But I'm just saying there always was some cost to it. So when they tell you that just because they paying somebody some bullshit money, if all that person is getting for that money, right, is food, clothing, shelter, and you can afford not to die, then you're doing the same thing. And see, by them telling you that they didn't make no money on the city, they're telling you that this way is more profitable. So you don't got to take the risk now. You don't have to have all these angry niggas living in your backyard. You know, $50, sit on the projects on the other side of the tracks. Put the police right there and keep their ass over there, and everything's good. But as these things go on, as all this time goes on, and we see these trials and tribulations, it's going to be a test of who we say we are as individuals. It's going to be a test of who we say we are as a nation. But guess we'll open up for questions right now. You know what I'm saying? Allah will manifest came in the building. We'll open up for some questions before we wind it down. Well, Zigzag Zigala said, plus that's a scam to not pay original people back by saying they ain't make no money. that is the oldest one in the book. It was. Yeah. Well, I say they say they're gonna be telling this they on the fixed income. They say they're gonna be telling us they're on fixed income. That's how that works. What? Does IQ really stand for intellectual frequency? No, it doesn't. It does not. Whenever I open it up for question time, danger. It's always the danger. The danger comes in. Man. But in reality, though, I'm gonna tell you something what I said. They don't got it. Not that I care. Fuck you, pay me. But I'm just saying, there never was more gold. The only gold there ever was over here was us. That little bit of shit they got in San Francisco wasn't like that. It wasn't. The only gold that ever was over here was us. Like the British, you know, and by extension, the Americans, right, was really just the last men standing. We made America the goal. In all reality, everybody came over here looking for El Dorado. They came over here looking for the gold in the spices. Nobody wanted to be, son, they down in the tropics, son, they in Panama, and they in fucking Brazil. Who wanted to come this cold ass shit up here? Down there, they got gold, motherfucking chocolate, all type of shit. Brown sugar cane. What made this worth something? See, all they wanted to do was get the gold and silver. What made North America worth something, right, was the crops they was able to grow because of us. See, the Spanish and the Portuguese got the gold and the silver. All in Brazil and shit like that right now, they still get big gold from over there. I believe it's in Mexico. It's a place called Mount Potosi. If you know about ore, O-R-E, right, which is rocks that these precious metals is stored in, right, before they refine it out, you know, the ore that they get most stuff from is like 30%, 20%. But this Mount Potosi was like 90% silver. And to this day right now, if you got a knot, if you got a lot of money in Spain, they say you got, you know, you found Mount Potosi. You must have found Mount Potosi. We get all that money. Part of what destroyed the Spanish Empire is they was getting so much money from that silver that the people stopped working and they just waited for the silver to come. And so every time the silver left, the economy crashed. The French, they got a little something, but you can clearly see it didn't work out for them. Portuguese had their turn, but all of them, they came and got the shit you could pick up off the ground, put back on the ship, and take back to Europe. In America, motherfuckers had to grow those crops to make any money here. So there's no other money, guy. Where to go? So, you know, I understand they got the print press and all that, but the print press is not money. Not for real. That's not. I mean, you need to look no further than the fact that, listen, you give me a piece of paper that's the same size, the same weight, the same color, but one has a 1 on it and the other one has a 20 on it. So you telling me that the one with the 20 on it is somehow worth more than the one with the 1 on it? Because you wrote a 1 on it or a 20? That's not real. So yeah, they can do that all day, but I'm telling you, the only goal is us. And so that's one of the things they scared of, is that if they give us the gold, right, then we not gonna work no more. We not gonna go out and set all the trends for them no more, for the shit that they sell and all of that. So while I'm 100% with reparations, I'm just saying, let's be aware. What constitutes an organized religion? I know the Father says it's not a religion, but was given a street name and given rights in prison in some states that fall under the religious rights. Who is the First Amendment protect? I think freedom of religion and the separation of church and state is that because there's no Constitution, remember the Constitution, the government is not supposed to make any rules really regarding religion, you know what I'm saying, and the establishment of religion. So that in particular is not in it, you know what I mean? It really just means that there's no state religion. That kind of separation of church and state is, I don't think that actually that term is in it. It's one of those things that, rights kind of evolved over the time. You know what I'm saying? Where now, people want to have the right to, do all types of stuff. Right? Once upon a time, right just meant like, look, like this room right here, if I farm this land right here, it's my seeds, my tools, the benefits go to me. I'm free from King George and Queen Isabella and Louis XIV. I'm free from all this. I'm just doing my thing. See, now where you got, people want the right to, we politically correct. This is we got. Brothers in prison used the Religious Land Use Act and designated the 5% as a God-centered culture. Well, I said that's why they give us nothing, because they ain't got no more gold. And never was no gold. Like when John Hunter Hawkins came to what's your name, the British wasn't popping. In 1555, the British wasn't popping like that. Like that's one of the reasons why John Hawkins, Francis Drake, these are the people that start putting them on the map. That's how they start getting money, with student people. I think, was it Drake? I think Drake has something to do with that Spanish Armada thing, I ain't sure. I know he's one of the great Navy sailors that established that British rule over the seas. And John Hawkins' cousin. They wasn't popping it. New York wasn't New York in 1555. New York became New York in like 1660 or something like that. Like 1670, 1660, somewhere like that. So when motherfuckers say, you promise you more gold, what gold? They didn't have no gold. They came over there to get the gold because they didn't have no gold. So to some degree, you have to, like I said, I'm 100% with the concept of reparations, right? But let's be careful not to still be looking for the promised gold. Let's not, don't let that part of the concept be lost. On that note, we're winding down. I gotta get up in the morning too, handle some things before class. I gotta go. My daughter, she fancies herself an artiste now, so I gotta take her to the close thing, the art store. Like your Shadows Dojo said, reparations is a carrot in front of the donkey. If your enemy has a weapon and you don't, you think he's giving you his? Hell no. Well, as you said, not under religious rights, it's a cultural right that we fall under. When I was in the interior cipher in the level 4 security. You know, some of that may have to be signs too. You know what I mean? Some of that may have to be looked into in which precedences they used. You understand what I mean? In order to establish a kind of paradigm, right, under which we could use that, you know, for us as a nation to say we don't want to be involved. You know what I'm saying? But at any rate, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say peace to the gods, peace to the earths. You know what I'm saying? All our people that's in the background that observe, peace to y'all too. You know what I'm saying? Brilliant elevation in the building. What's going on? You know what I'm saying? Peace to everyone. And y'all know tomorrow we back on at 7 o'clock. And for now, we're going to sign off from the G building.